Welcome back to another edition of the Dumbmarks Podcast. One Gotta Go. Before we get into this week, we're going to cover last week's results, which was Steve's Game of Work Edition. And you guys voted that coworkers stealing your lunch gotta go.
See everybody let office gossip.
Yes, they do. Mm-hmm.
They're here for the tea.
Yeah. On my poll, it was all female votes except for 2. So a lot of female participation in this one.
Definitely.
Y'all be getting y'all lunch stole.
If
the female vote dominated, that's why the office gossip stayed.
All right, let's get into this week. This might be questionable for the crew that we got, but I think people might be able to vote for this. Coffee shop chains. These are the top 4 best-selling coffee shops in America the past year, in order of Starbucks, Dunkin, Dutch Bros, and Tim Hortons. We only got 2 coffee drinkers on this podcast, so
they can all go.
We do have other drinks besides coffee. So
yeah, well, I mean, they have other items besides coffee too.
Yeah.
So you have food here at these particular coffee chains as well. Now, we're just basing it strictly on the coffee, Chris.
I'm going off of coffee, but you know, whatever.
I need to make the criteria clear because
it is off of the chain only because some people don't drink the coffee; they drink other stuff there. So
if I'm going strictly off the coffee, Tim Hortons is my A1 number 1. Not going anywhere. Dunkin would be 2 on that list. Cold brew for sure. I've never had Dutch Brothers, but Starbucks is ass, and I'm not paying $8 for a freaking medium coffee. So give me Starbucks off the list. I'm voting Starbucks off over a chain that I've never even had their coffee before. I'm getting Starbucks off the list. That's how trash Starbucks coffee is. So, yeah, pass.
So Starbucks has a strawberry frap. I can get with that. Dunkin has donuts. I'm not going off coffee. I'm going off the chain. Dunkin has donuts. Whack donuts, but you're staying because you have donuts. I've heard of Tim Hortons, so you're staying. Dutch Bros, I don't know who you are, where you're from, what you're doing. Other than coffee, you got to go.
Tim Hortons coffee's here locally, but you got to go. You got to go. You got to go like to Erie, or like actual Tim Hortons. Now Tim Hortons, because it's Canadian, you go up to Niagara Falls over there. You know, on Clifton Hill, you're over there. Tim Hortons breakfast, fire.
And then it's Starbucks and Dunkin', Tim Hortons everywhere.
The only thing I ever had on here was Starbucks, and that's just the tea. That's it. So, like Dunkin's, I don't go at all because I consider it more coffee than I do donuts. Never heard of Dutch Brothers, and Tim Hortons, I have no idea what it is. I seen the ground coffee in the bags at work, but I don't know. So, yeah, this is bad for me. I like I said, Dutch Brothers.
Way to pick a topic that not the 4 of us.
I have no idea.
People might be able to vote on this one.
You gave a homework lesson where Donald can't even complete the homework because he'd have to drive for 3 hours to get a Tim Hortons coffee.
And he's not going to do that.
Yeah. When you hear Dunkin', you think of the coffee first?
I do think of the coffee first before donuts.
Yeah,
I do.
I didn't even know Dunkin' sold coffee until we were adults.
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts.
But I'll go by Dutch Brothers because this is the first time I ever seen that company.
They're actually pretty new to me. I've only had them in Florida whenever I've gone down there the past couple times. That's the only time I've ever had them. Apparently they were started like Pacific Northwest. That's where they're from. I've had all of these. Dunkin' for me is number 1. Then I'm probably going to go Dutch Brothers, then Tim Hortons. And Steve, like you, Starbucks is just trash. Like, the coffee's the absolute worst. So Starbucks can go.
Yeah, like the only thing that I get from Starbucks, and like I said, I don't, because of how just ridiculously expensive they are for one coffees, which you can get for a 12 packet K-Pods. Creme brulee at the holiday time, I will occasionally, but even last year and the year before, I just refused to buy it because of how expensive it is. And then I will get like a shaken brown sugar espresso, and that's just because it's espresso. So like espresso is espresso, like to me. But other than that, just any version of their regular coffee is ass.
I'd heard a rumor, and I don't know whether it's true or not, that they only buy burnt beans because they're cheaper.
Yeah, they
So
do.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's ass.
Yeah, that's how bad their coffee is.
Really? What,
Yeah.
what is that?
Yeah.
Who's going to Starbucks for the coffee?
I mean,
A lot of
no,
people.
like the quality
A
of
lot
their
of people
coffee
do.
from when Starbucks first started popping up, 20, 25 years ago at this point, when they first started popping up
Yeah.
here, the coffee was good coffee. Now it's just so trash.
Gotta cut costs.
Yeah. No, it's a hard pass.
And the Starbucks tea I only go for is whenever I'm sick. It's like I'm not going there every day to get tea. It's just
Okay.
Oh, you go and get the Metasol, you go and get the
Medicine
medicine ball blend?
I make it better at home though.
Everything's made better at home.
No surprise.
Yeah. But
All
that's
right,
it.
guys. Thanks for tuning in for Coffee Shop Change. Hit us up in the comments this week and let us know which one got to go between Starbucks, Dunkin', Dutch Bros, and Tim Hortons.